Welcome to possibly the hardest experiment I've ever done. Something I may live to regret, but it's something I've really wanted to do for pretty much the whole time that I've been running. And the experiment is no guts, no glory. What happens to your body in a half marathon if you push it to its absolute limits, the unknown? And why would you want to do that? That bit's easy. You see, I've long been fascinated with this concept. What happens if you run as hard as you possibly can, like the Kenyans do, and then see what happens to your body? Is it in your legs on the day, or is it not? What happens when you take heat into account? All of these things I'm excited to do, and the reason that I've never done them before is because I've never been a part of a race where there was low enough pressure and it being that informal that I felt like I could take that gamble. Well, no longer, because I found the race, it's right now, experiment begins.
Can only mean one thing. This is the race that Mary and I have been training for 9 weeks. I can't talk too loud because Mary's upstairs asleep still, because we're racing at different times, which I'll explain in a minute. But I am about to go as hard as I can in a half marathon in this heat to see what happens to my body. And I'm terrified, but so excited.
This is interesting. This is where we're supposed to meet for the race, and I'm the only one here, so I don't know how that's going to work. Maybe I'm in the wrong place. I need to go and find out. Now, because I got to the race and let's say nerves were playing a part, not too much, but they were there, and I wanted to make sure I was in the right place at the right time, all of that stuff. I didn't really explain enough on camera what I wanted to achieve from this race or how I was going to go about it. So we're going to explain it here really quickly. Now this is my no guts, no glory graph. Bang, bang. That's the time it takes to run the race, and that's the pace I plan to run at. And my usual strategy is to run even pace all the way, maybe increase the pace just at the end if I've got something in the tank. Usual strategy. Strategy today, however, is to go above my usual strategy pace and see over time, hopefully, if it tails off less than if I was to run at my usual strategy pace. Not sure. And just for clarity, if I was to factor in all of the things as in heat and where my fitness is at, this might be 4 minutes per kilometre. Running hard in this weather might be around closer to 3:40, which would be the top end of my half marathon ability in this weather. The light's coming now, so I can explain what I'm doing. It's a very informal race, and it's in the place Nichada Thani, which if you watched our first long run in Thailand, that's where we ran. So there's about 5 of us starting at 6 AM. The races start at different times of the morning. Once I finish mine, I'm gonna help on the water station, and then Mary's doing her 10K a little bit later. And I'm just gonna basically share with you how I go in this heat running a hard half marathon, which I'm terrified of, like I said.
Everyone good? Yeah.
I think so.
Hey, ready?
All right, we're off. Went out way too fast, I think. 3:39 for the first kilometre, and my heart rate is already middle zone 3. It's just so hot, so I'm having to really concentrate, dial it back a bit, focus on just a good rhythm.
Oh, welcome back. You want to know what's going on in my mind and body, right? Well, my first kilometre was 3:39. So the plan was kind of coming together.
That's 5k in 19 minutes, but I already know I went too hard. Like, I can't sustain this pace. These are good lessons to learn in a really informal race, but it's a hard lesson to learn.
By 5k, I was hovering just above the average line, the usual strategy. I was actually, boom, running at around 19 minutes for the 5k. So I was still above my usual strategy line, but I certainly was feeling it almost immediately. I knew I was in for a torrid day, let's just put it that way. But I didn't really appreciate how torrid.
That's John gone in the distance. My legs not there today in any way. I can't, my heart rate is way up near max and I can't like go any faster.
By 10k, I was just above the usual strategy line. No way I was going to make that to the half marathon above the usual strategy line, and that was very clear. And I actually had to walk at 10k to take the gel on. I couldn't do anything about it, and that is when I got overtaken. I was in first place until then, out of 3, but I was in first place. No longer.
Body is starting to shut down. I just had to walk, like no choice. Had to walk, couldn't do anything else. It is, I mean, nearly 16 kilometers in, I'm heading for just a sub 130. Whoa, never expected this.
Make you change.
So I might just squeak under 130, which when you take my PB is 116 from this year, you'll see how much heat affects you. I cannot push at all. I'm running at like 4:45s, in case you're wondering, and I started the race at 3:45s per kilometre. That's how dramatic the drop-off has been. Got to share everything, right? This is the first time I've ever walked in a half marathon. My legs are just so wobbly. I've had 2 gels, I've had electrolytes, I've had water. Just unbelievable. About 300 meters left. May vomit at the end. Let's see.
And the last 5 kilometers, I can honestly admit, were my own personal hell. Possibly the hardest 5 kilometers I've ever done. I'm just trying to think back in my running journey, maybe 5 kilometers in the ultra marathon that I did. I don't know, but the last 5 kilometers tailed off again, even more significantly, where I was running at 4:45s on average per kilometre to give me an overall average time at the end of the race of 4:15 minutes per kilometre. Boom. What?
That is actually the slowest half marathon I've ever run, but a huge lesson learned. 1:28.55. If I can pace that evenly, if I can dial back my expectations and pace it evenly, I actually think I can take a significant amount of time off that. But I just started way too hard and blew up, just completely blew up. I have no words. I've just changed. And we've got maybe about 25 minutes, 30 minutes until Mary gets here for her 10k race. And I just phoned her and said, dial back your expectations after what just happened to me. I need to stretch and I need to maybe cry. Mary's getting a race briefing at the moment, so I'll come away. So she's just learning the course for the 10K, making sure she knows where she's going so she doesn't get lost. I'm either going to try and jump on the golf cart back there, or I might jump in the car and try and film from the side, see how she's going. But this is exciting, although it's 9:30 in the morning. Remember, I started at 6 AM and it was too hot, so I have warned Mary about the heat because it is no joke. So fingers crossed. How are you feeling, Mary?
Hot and thirsty already.
And you haven't even started?
No.
Okay. What's the plan, Mare?
Just enjoy.
Are you sure? You'll see as soon as you start. So we're on a mission to go and find Mary and squirt her with water in the golf cart. Go, Mary. No, straight on. Straight on. Go, go, go. All the way. Squirt her as she comes past. Get her! Woo, woo. Keep going. It's all the way down there. So the lead runner just came in on the 10K after about maybe 40 minutes. I need to check, and it was my buddy Mikey that we're doing the 50-kilometer ultra with. So Mikey came in first. Mary shouldn't be too far, but we'll see. I have no idea what her experience has been out there. We'll ask her in a minute. But it's getting hotter and hotter. Keep going. Just round the corner where the golf cart is.
Yeah.
Go, 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 go!
Just by the golf cart. Great finish. Second place overall. Great run. Late start.
That was a few lessons learned, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, how did you find that?
I actually really enjoyed it. I think I'd already had the chance to learn from your
Mistakes? So I called Mary straight after my race and said, honestly, dial back your expectations because it is brutal.
Yeah, and I did. Actually, my watch was jumping around a bit, so I thought I would start running at 5 minutes per kilometre, but then my first kilometre came in at 4:30, and I thought, well, I actually feel all right, so I just literally went to feel each kilometre and tried to be steady, but had a couple of slightly slower because I walked when I got some fluid.
Brutal.
But yeah, it was good. I actually really enjoyed it.
How much footage did you get?
0.
Boom! Welcome to
Balcony Chat.
which is the new car chat, isn't it? Because we're not sitting in a car in 30-degree heat with the engine off.
We're not.
So Mary, how did your 10K go? Enjoy?
Yeah, I did actually. I'd say it was a pretty positive experience, and I'm pretty pleased with how it went.
Yeah, set you up nicely. You've got a couple of 10K races, or a 10K race coming and a half marathon coming up and stuff, don't you? So,
Sure do.
and as for me, this may sound really weird, but I'm really glad what happened to me happened. Which is silly to say, but I felt like falling. I've always wanted to do that for a start. I've always wanted to run as hard as I think is manageable and see what happens to my body. And as it turns out, quite a lot, and not very positive things. But
Well, you've done it before, but your body's coped, and it's...
yeah, but I don't think I ran to my top level. I've always run conservatively. My plan has always been to run even, whereas this one I went hard and thought, what would be the tail off?
Yeah, I suppose.
The tail off was dramatic. But again, like I say, that informs my planning with the races that are more, how do you say, not important, because that one was very important to me, but more official, let's say, coming up. So yeah, it was a really valuable lesson for me to learn as what the heat does to you as well. I mean, what was that? That was a 13-minute drop off from PB to now. And that there was this year, they were both 2021. So, but as pointed out on Strava, that I haven't been running as many miles each month. We just haven't been. I haven't been able to. I haven't been running as many miles every month, and also I haven't been able to supplement my base with my turbo because it's in blooming shipping still. We're still waiting for our shipping 4 months later. So my turbo trainer, all the things that helps enrich my juicy base, it's not there. But it is what it is. You know, this is a journey for
True.
life, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we've got some really crazy, fun, exciting races coming up next week. Like, just watch out for the video next week. What are we doing? Running in a stadium?
Running at the National Stadium with tons of other people, and it's looks absolutely crazy, like cameras, film crews.
Organised chaos, but really exciting nonetheless.
Yeah.
So the last thing we need to say is thank you so much to Martin Reed, because without Martin, none of this would have happened. Martin lives at Nichada Thani. He organised this half marathon and 10k and marathon with a view to making it official in February, March time, doing another one. So just thank you so much for being so accommodating, for being so positive, everything, Martin.
Yeah,
He's,
it was such an awesome event and really nice for the community, and I loved it. It was really good.
We feel very lucky to have been a part of it. So, and we owe that all to Martin, who's just connecting with people and, you know, making things happen. So appreciate it. Right, stick around. We've got so much coming, but stick around, starting with next week, the crazy 10k race in the National Stadium, which is going to be chaos. Organised and fun chaos. I'm going to see you on Wednesday.
See you soon.